welcome to Barça Live, coming on YouTube, on Facebook, Barça TV Plus. 32 hours away from a Clásico, a Copa del Rey Clásico, first leg of the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey at the Santiago Bernabéu. Barça coming off what we're going to do. We've got a Clásico coming to you tomorrow, and in about a quarter of an hour over there at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper.
Yeah, hello and good morning from the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper. Testing the microphones now because in less than 15 minutes, Xavi Hernández will be here on the hot seat. With the group again after his injury. He missed the game against Almeria. Also, some Barça players that have been part of this training session today: Stanis Padrola, Juanda, Zalaya, Julian Araujo, and Moja. Also, Ángel Alarcón from the U19A team played some minutes the other day also in the Power Horse Stadium, and well, one was a victory for Real Madrid in the league. The second one in Riyadh, Barça won the final, and this meant a trophy, the first one of the season, the first one of Xavi era in Riyadh, in an outstanding game of the team with an incredible Gavi. And tomorrow, well, Barcelona will have, of course, important absences. The recent one, the one of Lewandowski, who suffered an injury in the game against Almeria, and also Ousmane Dembélé, three important players that will be out for FC Barcelona, and a squad list that we will know in few minutes, according to what the press officers told us minutes ago. They're going to publish it today, this squad list. And guys, well, a Clásico, it's going to be crucial for the future also of this final part of the season. Ronald Araujo was yesterday on the studio on Barça TV. And well, he explained the importance of this tie, but at the same time that this is two legs against Madrid. It's not just one game. So of course it's important to take a good result tomorrow, but the team has to be intelligent. And well, yes, it has been a bad week, 2 defeats against United and against Almeria, but the team was in a good dynamic during the whole season. So let's see if with 7 points of advantage with Real Madrid. Madrid arriving to this game also with 2 absences, Mendy and Alaba. The one who is also training back with the group is Rodrigo, who seems that it's going to be a clash. And well, Ancelotti doesn't have the best numbers against Barça. He has lost 50% of the games he has played against the Blaugranas, 10 games and 5 defeats. So well, let's see how things goes tomorrow. But challenge, of course, between Ancelotti and Xavi Hernández also tomorrow. So guys, we are still waiting for, of course, to Xavi Hernández. At 1 p.m. He's gonna talk, the manager of FC Barcelona. Ancelotti is right now also giving his press conference in Madrid. So well, we are all really excited. It's always fantastic to enjoy a Clásico, and tomorrow is gonna be a big one, this Madrid-Barça at the Bernabeu.
Thank you very much, Bruno. We'll come back to you later after the press conference. Spence, a good chance for Barca to bounce.
For them to do it against a rival that they're familiar with, and really a lot of other games like the Almeria game, for example, or other games against lower tier teams in the Liga, you have to do a little bit more scouting. You have to be able to break down some of your opponents. Everybody knows what Real Madrid is about. You already know, so now it's just not about scouting and about looking at the film. It's about how are we going to attack this game? What are we going to tweak?
This is going to be the 252nd Clásico all-time in all competitions. Real Madrid have 101 wins, Barça have 98, so we're fairly tied historically. Talking about historical feats, Sergio Busquets could become the player tomorrow with the most Clásicos in all, if he were to play, of course. options in the squad because of all the injuries we have. We'll talk about that in a second. But Sergio Busquets could play his 46th Clásico tomorrow, becoming the player with the most Clásicos ever, passing Sergio Ramos and Leo Messi. If he were to win as well, if Barca were to win, that would be the 22nd win in 46 Clásicos for Sergio Busquets, and he would surpass Paco Gento with 21. Sergio Busquets today. Obviously, it was good news last week that we got him back after his relatively long period of injury as well.
Yeah, it's incredible for players to get one appearance, hoping that their number gets called because of the limited options that Barca have with the first team. But if you're Sergio Busquets and you've played in 45, looking for a point, and in a good way, it's another game in that the pressure won't get. The magnification of the moment is already long gone. He's ready to take this game on in the first leg.
One first. Supercopa, the final. We went into it after defeating Real Betis on penalties in the semi-finals. Real Madrid had defeated Valencia on penalties as well, and Barca produced a super performance that day, namely Xavi. Xavi was everywhere that day.
You would say that it was Gavi's coming out party, but he's already been here. He's already arrived, so it wasn't like it was anything new. Somebody who's been a Barca fan and been watching this club for the last year and a half while he's been on. He good, and it was the introduction of the four midfielders that Xavi decided, you know what, in this game I'm not going to play two wingers, I'm going to let Gavi push forward, and that was rewarded instantly with the amount of times that he got forward. It was incredible.
Here he is again and setting up Lewandowski, who unfortunately we learnt this week will not be available neither for tomorrow or for the upcoming games. Muscular injury for Robert Lewandowski will keep him out, so Xavi will have to shuffle around the lineup. It was a game of from Barca, and one of the most impressive things was the high pressure that they played, the how many mistakes they forced for Real Madrid, and the quick opportunities they created.
Which is interesting because Madrid are usually pretty good at breaking through pressure, and
there it is again, Gavi winning it back.
They just didn't seem to be able to get past the first line of defense from Barca, and that's a great sign. But now if you think that this is exactly the way it's going to be tomorrow, you obviously don't understand that there are adjustments that are made on both sides. It's not just Barca. So even though you can say we want to look at this game and use a lot from this game, you can do that, but you also have to be prepared for a Madrid team that'll counterpunch.
Definitely, and we'll have to be strong at the back, the same as Barca was that day. We conceded a late goal to Karim Benzema in extra time. Didn't count. Barca lifted the trophy that day. Very useful, of course, to look at what went well in the final of the Super Real. The one in which they beat 3-1, and in which Barca forced or made mistakes, especially in the first, ended up costing the team.
Yeah, well, it's useful to go back and look at this game the way that I'm sure they did on more than one occasion heading into the Supercopa final.
This is one thing that Barca can't allow to happen tomorrow. If there's a situation in which Vinicius can get out running, he's faster than anyone, you need to cut the play at his origin, and there Barca were late at allowing or not allowing the pass by Toni Kroos. Barca, I felt, did enough to merit a draw maybe in that game, but Real Madrid were just lethal. The shot by Fede Valverde, and Real Madrid into half-time with a 2-0 win.
You know what?
Lead.
What I see when I look at these highlights, honestly, there's the good play from Madrid, the shot from Valverde, but the thing I that Madrid have the home crowd behind them.
Yeah.
In the Supercopa, the crowd was, I would say, neutral at best.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit pro Madrid, if anything. But Barca haven't had the luxury of playing this game in front of their fans
Not yet
this
not
season.
Yet. We'll get the chance in the month of, on the 19th of March and the 5th of April in the return game of this Copa tie. Ansu Fati came on in the second half in that game and had some chances to equalise, almost did so. For Ferran, two players who will be available tomorrow. Ferran Torres, good news, or a good little bit of information. He's scored in his 2 visits to the Bernabeu as a Barca player. Ansu Fati also knows what it is to score against Real Madrid, and as Bruno said, he is back into training, hopefully into the squad list that Xavi will release after the press conference, and available for tomorrow.
Yeah, even though there are limited options for Barca, the options that they have are still able to go out and produce their roles, and that's important.
A player who's been very important in past Clásicos and been tasked with guarding Vinicius is Ronald Araujo. He visited Barca Studios yesterday to celebrate his 100th appearance for Barca, which came last week, and he talked to us about this upcoming game against Real Madrid.
No, el equipo está bien, somos una familia, se ve, y nada, es verdad que venimos de derrota, de quedar afuera de la Europa League, y bueno, y después el partido del fin de semana que no fue lindo, no fue bueno, pero el equipo está bien, el equipo está fuerte, sabemos el potencial que tenemos, confiamos mucho en el trabajo que estamos haciendo con Xavi, y nada, a levantar, yo creo que hay que cambiar el chip. Pero nada, el equipo está bien, seguimos trabajando y sabemos que todavía queda muchísimo y que estamos líder, ¿no? Sí, un clásico siempre es especial, es el partido que todos quieren jugar y nada, sabemos que Madrid es un gran rival, tiene es equilibrante. Analizamos al final mucho el último partido que jugamos contra ellos, es a seguir por esa línea. Creo que hicimos un partido muy completo en todos los sentidos, con todo lo que nos pidió el míster salió prácticamente todo, y creo que ese es el partido que tenemos que mirar y seguir en esa línea. Y sobre todo paciencia, tranquilidad, nosotros sabemos lo que tenemos que hacer, y también no descontrolarse, ¿no? Son 2 partidos, hay que ser inteligentes, no puedes ir al primer partido tenerlo ya por ganar la eliminatoria, sino que a ser inteligentes, son 2 partidos y también sabiendo que la vuelta es en casa con nuestra gente.
Ronald Araujo, one of the players who's going to be available tomorrow. We'll see, Spence, if he starts at right back, as he has been starting ever since Xavi took over in the Clásicos in which he's been available, and he's done so well at keeping Vinicius relatively quiet.
Yeah, I'm interested as much as everybody else is, because when he started in that position against United, it didn't work the same way that it has worked against Vinicius. So whether there's an adjustment to be made on one side or both, Araujo will do whatever Xavi asks of him, because that's the kind of player that he is.
You kind of wonder as well if Real Madrid would adjust maybe in changing Vinicius' position, taking into account that Araujo might play in that position.
Well, that's what happened against United. Ten Hag put Rashford on the other side, so at least for part of the game. So that could be something that we look at as well, because if you start with Balde on that side, you're asking Balde then to stay back further so that Vinicius is covered if he does indeed switch to the other side, but then you don't have the luxury of pushing him up the pitch. So it's a lot of give and take.
There was lots of interesting things that Ronald Araujo said yesterday in that interview here at Barca TV. One of them we were just listening to, not to get too carried away tomorrow. After coming off of 2 days, you might come out a little bit too eager, a bit too impulsive, leave yourself vulnerable at the back, and cost yourself some easy opportunities for Real Madrid. You need to remind yourself that there's another game coming at Camp Nou.
I think we all have our own theory on how we would play this game, it being the first leg, if it was us in Xavi's position. You know, one thing I was thinking about earlier is that if you kind of toy with it a little, it's the first leg. So you want to be able to make sure you at least put up a clean sheet or just keep yourself in the tie. You saw what happened at Anfield a couple of weeks ago against Liverpool. Maybe, what about the idea of going with 5 at the back and putting it out?
I don't think Xavi's ever going to do that.
Well, of course not, but think about it like this, right? Balde and Alba covers that one side just in case Vinicius switches. Araujo on the right-hand
There are, and tomorrow Xavi has more limited options than what is usual because of all the absences. We learned this week, as I said before, that Robert Lewandowski is not going to be available for tomorrow's game. Muscular injury that is added on to the absences of Pedri and Ousmane Dembélé. Xavi doesn't usually give us any clues. Let's hear what he has to say while addressing the media.
Bon dia a tothom, benvinguts a la roda de premsa del tècnic. Xavi, què tal? Prerview de Barça TV. A diferència dels altres partits, una de Lliga, l'altre una final, demà el partit contra el Madrid és un partit d'anada.
In contrast to the other games, tomorrow is a first leg of the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. What can we expect? Well, we plan this game like we do all other games. We know we play against Madrid. We know that they are a difficult opponent and can dominate during certain facets of the game. In those, they are very quick in transition in those moments and can come to our goal quickly. It's going to be difficult. We're playing in their stadium. They beat us in the league, and we beat them well in the Spanish Super Cup. It's going to be 2 games. It's the semi-final. We're very happy to be in this position in the league. It's a different format. We're in the semi-finals. So I think. But we're going to come out to win and to show our personality. It's a golden opportunity for us.
Do you have the feeling that due to the players that you'll be missing, the rival, the moment of the season, it's a semi-final of the Cup, and of course, yes, it's a Clásico, but it's the title for us. And for me, Madrid are favorites because they're the current champion of the league and the Champions League, so they're favorites. Despite the players that we're missing, and overall, for me, they are the favorite. And the Super Cup was an exception. We know that they're a difficult opponent, and they're in a good moment. The game against Liverpool and the draw against Atletico, they're favorites.
Hola, Xavi, Marta Ramon de RAC1. Amb les baixes clau que teniu, com es pot guanyar el Madrid?
Given the players you're missing, how can you Real Madrid in a Bernabeu? Pedri, Lewandowski, Dembélé. How can you overcome these players missing? We need to be a better team than ever, both in defense and attack. We need to have the ball, be protagonists, to be brave as well, show our personality, and minimize errors. Because if we lose the ball in a dangerous area of the field, they can create chances out of nothing. With Vinicius, Rodrigo, Benzema. So the ball, they're the kind of team that capitalize on those situations. We need to try to play in our opponent's half and impose our style of play, like we did in the Super Cup.
Hola, bon dia, Xavi.
Bon dia.
Laura Brugués de TV3. Ansu Fati és novetat a la convocatòria.
Ansu Fati has been included.
Pot jugar de titular?
Could he play in the starting 11, given the players that you're missing, and how's his mood? Yeah, today he played or trained with the group, which was great news. He's good, he's in good mood, he's very happy, he's very motivated for tomorrow, and he's going to be important for us. Taking into account 2 consecutive losses and the injuries How do you prepare the game from a mental aspect? Well, the mental aspect, we train on a daily basis. It's another competition. We talked about these last two games, but in this competition we've been competing very well. We beat Real Sociedad at their home. We're in the semis, and it's an opportunity for us to win a title. Injuries. We need to change the chip. It's a good moment for us to react.
Hola. En un estadio que es difícil dar vuelta a la situación, ¿cómo haces para mantener tranquilo a
How do you
Ferran Torres?
maintain somebody like Ferran Torres at ease and make him important? Well, given him this many times, I am one of the reasons why he's here, why he's a Barça player. I have full trust in him, regardless of where he plays. I think the other day against Cádiz, one of the best players out there, and he needed it. We're giving him confidence to make sure he feels important. Times needs to be, both in present and future. So I trust him. I need to give him more trust, show him that he has that capacity to make a difference in such a big club as Barça, and we have full faith in him. He needs to be important. You said that Madrid are favored. Are you showing too much respect? Or is it because they're coming into this leg, into this tie with form? Well, Madrid have been winning the last titles, both in the league and the Champions League. We're in the process of construction, and we've played in them. So it doesn't matter to me. I want to understand their favorites. The players missing to beat them. We're gonna, of course, go out there and be motivated, excited. We have players that can hurt them. Even last year we showed it, as well as this year. But I think it's going to be a very level knockout round. A statistic came out recently with regards to Pedri. The point percentage Barça obtained with and without Pedri. With Pedri is 90% of wins, and without only the 57%. What does Pedri mean for the team? What does he bring? And what do you notice is missing from the team when Pedri is not there? Pedri is massive for us. He's grown exponentially and able to make the difference also even in scoring goals and passes into the box, passes in between lines that perhaps we're missing in other profiles. The numbers are there. He's a painful absence, as Usman and Robert. Tomorrow we're missing three important players, but we'll be able to compete the same way. But Pedri is massively important for the team. In Madrid, they're saying that they smell blood after the two losses. Are you going to the Bernabeu with more pressure than ever? No. I'm going there with excitement. It's always motivating to play in the Bernabeu. I'm culé, I'm a Barça fan. I like this rivalry. It's a healthy rivalry. We're going to try to away from them and be competitive. It motivates me a lot more than other games. I get excited. I could be playing these kind of balls. I wish I could be there in the midfield, but I can't. But I tell my players to be brave and to keep trying, because winning in the Bernabeu is a beautiful feeling. Logically, how's the team after the two losses and the image that was given against Almeria? These 2 days psychologically for the players, and are they hurt? No, I think we're fine. Of course, if we just focus on the last, it may look like we're in a hospital, but if we focus in where we are in the semifinal of the Cup, 7-point difference in the domestic league. We've won a Super Cup this year, competed in Europe despite crashing out of the Europa League. So I think so far this movie is pretty good. I think we've showed our best side in. So the teams continue to grow. We're in the semi-final of the Cup, at the cusp of the final, which motivates us, and in the league, we're still in the fight. So, in overall, the balance is positive.
Hola, Xavi, bon dia. Bon dia. Adrià Albets, pel que jugues de Ser Catalunya. Si ens centrem en els dos últims partits...
If we focus on the last two games, you said the team is in a hospital. I don't know if these last two losses have instilled some doubt. Are you a little bit scared that all the work done so far will go out the window? Do you share the feeling of the Barça fans? No, the worrying is only going to bring in negative vibes. I want to think positive. We have a golden opportunity to win the league and a cup, and that's the mentality that we have within closed doors. We've shown that we are very competitive also against Madrid, and tomorrow we'll do that. We're going to play them head-to-head, and we're going to try to show our personality and show our style of play. Of course, football is a game where you can win, lose, or draw, but we're going to show our personality, and we're going to show that we're on the right track.
Hola, Xavi, bon dia. Jordi Blanco de ESPN. Fa un moment has dit que et posa a jugar al Bernabéu. Me'n recordo que a l'octubre...
You just said that you get excited playing in the Bernabéu. You said you get very excited. Now you're back in the Bernabéu after losing in the Europa League and losing in the league as well. I don't know how excited are you.
Tot marcarà. Si al final, a partir d'ara...
As of now, I think that, of course, any result will affect the rest of the season. If we don't win against Valencia, it will also affect the season. If we don't win tomorrow, it also affects us. Of course, every game will have an effect. It was an opportunity against Almeria to be 10 points ahead, but now it's 7. Instead of being excellent, well, we're doing very good. We want competitive. We want to need to focus on where we are at the moment. All we can do now is to compete. Well, talking about me getting very excited, well, you've managed to make me very excited for this game. Tomorrow is another. We need to compete. That's all we can do. I see it like an opportunity. I understand the criticism after 2 losses, but I see this as an opportunity. I'm happy to be a Barça coach. Just imagine. I'm euphoric to be where I am today. Looking at last season, I'm euphoric and I understand the criticism, but I'm right now in a state of euphoria. We can win the league and the cup, so let's go for it.
¿Qué tal, Xavi? Bon dia. Les ha faltado, le ha faltado al madridismo una derrota, creo que segunda en 23 partidos de Liga del Barça para sacar el...
What Madrid needed was to see Barça lose in order to gain confidence over there. What is your message to the Barça fans who see the Madrid fans are happy? What is your message? Are you scared? No, we're not. We're good. Within closed doors, that's why we lost the game. But it has nothing to do with the mood or the physical aspect or psychological one. It's the other day we didn't defend the goal scored by Almeria. We didn't defend well. We always plan our games to go out in the attack. And tomorrow will be another story. And after that, another story. But we're in a situation now in an ideal situation to win titles. Despite the Europa League, we're in a privileged position, semi-final of the Cup, after having won the Super Cup, and a situation in a league where we're leading by 7 points. I remember how much was suffering, and now we're in a situation where we're enjoying our football. Now, can things turn around? Of course. But we're here to make sure that doesn't happen. But we're positive.
No utilizamos esa palabra.
Juan Bautista Martínez, de La Vanguardia. Demà coincidim amb el dia del Clàssic, hi ha una roda de premsa a Madrid del col·lectiu arbitral.
Tomorrow there'll be a press conference of the Refereeing Federation with regards to the Negeda case. Are you worried? I want the referees to do their best possible job. My feeling, being here as a Barça player, is that referees never helped us. I don't have the feeling that we got help from the referees. They do the job the best way possible and try to be just. I've always said this many times.
Hem vist que Stanis Padró a la convocatòria, m'agradaria saber com l'estàs veient, què és el que t'aporta perquè entri a la convocatòria de Clàssic. Gràcies.
Bé, és un jugador que ja el coneixem de l'any passat, ja va debutar.
He's a player that we know from last season. He made his debut against Mallorca. He's a player who's good in a one-on-one. He's fast. He can score goals. He's able to cut inside. He's in good form. And given the absence of Robert, we figured he would be a good addition. You talked about Are you surprised by Barça surroundings, the Barça fans? No, I know this club. I know how this works, being Barça fans and the media that surrounds. This doesn't affect me, but what I don't want is that this affects the players. I want them to be calm. I want them to know that they're having a good season, that we're in a perfect position in the season to win titles, and I want we know the surroundings of this club. In fact, I think there's a stat that if we would have won against Almeria, would have been the best point tally so far in that season of Barça's history. That hasn't been mentioned a lot, right? So we're in a good situation, very good. Did we lose an opportunity? Yes. Are we set? Yes. Me, the first one. But tomorrow is another game, and after that, another one. We're in a good situation to win 2 titles. Very good.
Aquí, Arnal, pel diari Ara. Ara ho deies, ho comentaves.
About personality after the loss against Almeria, you talked in the press conference that you're annoyed that there wasn't any excitement or passion. What was the reply of the players that you were missing? Well, I'm not here to talk about the things behind closed doors. We talked. The players also applied some self-criticism. We talked about it face to face, and that was good. We were able to improve, and that's good. Tomorrow we'll come.
Xavi, què tal? Bon dia. Marcel Beck, Brasil. Fa una setmana es va fer una gran...
1 week ago, was one of the players that difference makers on the world stage. Do you expect, are we seeing the best version of Vinicius since? Yeah. He's a maker, for sure. He's playing at a high level. You've suffered several losses as a player in the Bernabeu. Or what was your best memory of? Well, I have many good memories. The 6-2 in Bernabeu. We won, making come. There were different times. I think football's Madrid has been winning titles for many years, especially on the European stage. That's why I brand them as favorites. They compete very well. But good memories. Like Ángel Alarcón, as you mentioned, will be included. What do you tell him if he gets some minutes in the cup? I tell him it's a privilege. We always talk about opportunities. A privilege to be a Barça player and to play these clásicos. It's the best game in the world at club level, in my opinion. And as a Barça fan, it's the max to beat them, to stadium with good feelings.
Toni Sant Martí de Relevot. Volia preguntar per Alarcón. És baixar
Alarcón és un
partit tan important de debò o encara estan amb peus de plom?
Sí, tots són opcions. L'altre dia van entrar...
Yeah, many players are options. Tomorrow is he's fast. He can play on the wing or in the middle. He's a football player that could be very useful for Barça. Good moment despite the loss. It was to get the result we wanted. But yeah, tomorrow Madrid are favorites for me.
Hola Xavi, Aurora Fuster per a Principal. Volia preguntar-te per Araujo.
I wanted to ask you about Araujo, given Vinicius' form. What do gain putting him either in a central defender as a world? So he's fundamental for us. Win. But there's a second leg. I know you're going to tell me that the team needs to go out for the win, but a loss by a minimum margin, would that be a bad result? Seeing how the game went, but the intention to win, being protagonist and impose. Thank you and goodbye.
Words there of our head coach, Xavi Hernández, and we apologize for the issues, the technical issues we've been having with audio and video, especially for those watching on YouTube and Facebook. I think we're all right on Barça TV Plus. Interesting press conference there of our head coach, Xavi Hernández, of course, regarding the past two defeats and how the team is going to react to that. And as you adequately stated at the beginning, he didn't really give many clues, did he? No. Let me ask you about Ángel Alarcón. Can he start? Well, Ángel Alarcón's a great player. I mean, he's an option. He's an option. Yeah. Yeah. The last question about Ronald Araujo. Well, he's great at right back. He's great at left back as well. Anyway, we have talked about the absences of tomorrow. Ousmane Dembélé, as we already know. Pedri, and this week we learned about the injury of Robert Lewandowski, which will keep him out for the next few games. So, options up front. Who do we have? We have Rafinha, we have Ferran Torres, and we have Ansu Fati. Those are the first team players who are available. Ansu returning after that knee contusion, which kept him out of the game against Almeria. Also, Bruno will go over the squad list in just a second, but Ángel Alarcón and Stanis Pedrol have also been called up for this game. But this, an important game for those three players I was mentioning, the first team players, Rafinha, Ansu and Ferran. Yeah, and we obviously need to find out what sort of formation Xavi has in mind. You could also throw Gavi into that mix, given where he's played recently, so there are definitely options for Barça, even though they've been short-handed because of the absences of Lewandowski, Dembélé. You heard one reporter say confidence. He needs to be in Porto tomorrow. I said before, he's scored in his 2 visits to the Bernabeu. About it's not who you play, it's when you. Right now, Barca are playing a team that are in excellent form, and they are not at the moment after the 2 losses. But that doesn't mean that you can't take that quick transition, use the player that you have best available to you in Ferran Torres, who's been making all of the right plays, and let him take over this game. Let's go back to the press room at the Ciutat Esportiva Joan Gamper. Bruno Ballester has been following the press conference. And Bruno, while the press conference was going on, we also learned that who's been called up in the squad list.
Yes, let's have an eye on the squad list for tomorrow's game. Of course, the good news that Ansu Fati is back, as we expected after seeing him training today with the rest of the teammates. And there is a name that also is going to surprise, is Stanis Pedrol, the player of the B team, who is enjoying a fantastic season. He gets a call from Xavi. He made his debut last year in Mallorca, and in the press conference, Xavi has mentioned that, of course, he has possibilities to play and have minutes. We'll and Dembele, all the rest players are able. Press conference today where Xavi has left a clear message, and is that Barça are in an incredible situation to win trophies. They already won the Super Cup. They are 7 points ahead of Real Madrid in problem of mentality, and well, the objective is to try and win in the Bernabeu. About a draw. Ancelotti also has talked in Madrid, and of course he also has said that everyone is they depend just on Vinicius, and he said that apart, yes, but it's normal when you are talking about a top-class player like him. So, guys, everything ready, at least both managers after the press conferences. Tomorrow, Barça will go to Madrid at 11 a.m. The plane will depart from Barcelona airport. The team will face Real Madrid in a Clásico, of course, Barça live at 8 p.m. Local time.
Bruno, make sure to go tomorrow, because I know you're there with the cameraman and Barça TV, and it's worked other times.
Yes, to eat a burger always there in the in the restaurant. Let's see if it continues. When we ate a burger, it was the 4-0 win against Madrid. Last time in the Bernabeu, they didn't offer us a burger and we lost, so we are gonna ask for another burger and win.
Go get your burger. Talk to you tomorrow, Bruno. Thank you, Spence.
I'll make him a burger if I need to.
Yeah.
I mean, if we need to create something in the kitchen, you know, whatever we got.
We'll do what we have to help Barca win in tomorrow's Clásico. Bounce back after defeats last week against Manchester United, being knocked out of the Europa League, unfortunately, and the loss against Almeria on Sunday. We saw that squad list, 2 Barca B players called up, as well as usually in the squad, who got his minutes the other day in Almeria, was one of the
in the mentality sense, because whenever he's on the ball, he doesn't take it for granted. He's always trying to push forward. He's always trying to get at the back line of the defense. I remember watching him last year in the juvenil squad. This year, Barça Athletic, he's been playing really well. He deserves this chance. We'll see what kind of opportunity he gets to actually play. That's sort of another story.
We'll see, we'll see. We'll have to wait until tomorrow to find out what the lineup is going to be with all those absences that we have, with Pedri out, with Dembele out, and with Robert Lewandowski out. Spence, final thoughts, key to tomorrow's game. The key is, as Xavi said in the press conference, we need to be a team more than ever tomorrow with those important players out. Just act as a whole unit, put pressure on Real, force their mistakes, take your opportunities, stay strong. Supercopa, and remember, of course, that this is a 2-game tie. We've got a return game at the Camp Nou on the 5th of April.
And sure, they've already forgotten about the weekend and last week. That's the next game mentality. They've already forgotten about it, guaranteed.
Spence, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Yeah, we're here 1 hour before the game. That game that kicks off at 9 p.m. Therefore, we will start at 8 p.m. here from Barça Studios with Bruno Ballester at the Santiago. 8 p.m. local time, 1 hour before the game. See you there tomorrow, Spence.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to leave some to Ronald Araujo, and he gave them some answers yesterday. So we're going to leave you with that and see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Hola Ronald, soy Keita, delantero de la Levina, y te quería preguntar.
Escuchar a los técnicos, a la gente que los guía y sobre todo trabajar.
Hola Ronald, yo soy el...
Más o menos por la línea. Jugar de fútbol y bueno, y después ir escuchando, ir aprendiendo.
Hola, soy Kim Car i volia comentar sobre Arau.
Creo que esa también es un poco la idea cuando está dentro de la cancha. Somos referentes nosotros a la gente y a los más chiquitos. Que empecé ya a jugar de defensa.